Today on In the Wood Yard, we're going to talk about stacking firewood, when you should stack it. I say hardly ever. So a lot of people get all hot and bothered about stacking firewood. They think, oh, wood will only dry if you stack it. Well, that's not true. I used to stack all my wood, hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of cords of wood I have stacked in my life. And you know what? It dried. But for a long time now, years, I have not been stacking my wood. Hundreds, thousands of cords, and it dries better not stacked. Yes, that's a fact. Now, there are several people that should stack wood. I'm not one of them. To me, it wastes a lot of time, and the wood dries better not stacked. It's a fact. I've done tests, way better, just in cones. Now, the big firewood producers, the professionals, the guys that do it for a living, the people that produce thousands of cords of wood annually, sell thousands of cords. I know several producers that sell somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 to 3 semi-loads a day. A day. They don't stack wood. They never touch the wood. You know why that is? It wastes time. And the wood dries just fine in a cone. Better in a cone. It's a fact. You can argue with me, you can disagree, but you're wrong. Now, in my opinion, there's only one kind of person that should stack firewood, and that's the end user. The person that's going to burn the wood. Now, the person that's going to burn the wood is going to do it for 3 reasons. Well, 4 reasons. Number 1, it looks pretty. It's pretty stacked. It looks like, oh, look at that stacked wood. It's pretty. And yeah, it looks nice. It does. And if you're a person that lives in a residential area and your neighbors are going to be upset if it's not stacked, yeah, maybe you should stack it. Or if your significant other is upset because it looks like a pile of wood and you need to stack it for them to make them happy so that there's peace in the house, you probably need to stack it. Number 2, the second person that should stack wood, someone who has no space. Someone that has a very little small area in which to keep their firewood. Maybe it's a edge of their garage, or maybe on the side of their garage, or maybe they don't have a garage, they live in an apartment and they have to stack it somewhere in a storage area or somewhere, and they don't have hardly any room. Or someone that lives in a very small house on a very small lot in a very small city, and they have to have an area where they can keep their wood, and they don't have a lot of place to keep it. They probably should stack their wood because it keeps it more organized and in a place and out of the way so that they're not tripping on it and it's not in the way. But again, that's an end user. Third reason, it's good exercise to pick it up, set it down, pick it up, set it down, pick it up, set it down. If you like to touch the wood and set it down over and over and over and stack it, it's good exercise. So that's a third reason. You like work. You want more work. You need work. And that's fine. If you're a person that's like, hey, I cut a little bit of wood, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to split it, I'm going to haul it, and then I'm going to stack it. If that's your form of exercise and activity that you enjoy, go for it. The number 4 reason of the good reasons, you will know exactly how much you have. If you're the kind of person that balances their checkbook to the exact penny daily, if you're the person that counts their change in their pocket daily, if you're the person that keeps all of your bills in your wallet lined up sequentially from ones to hundreds, you probably want to stack your wood. If you're the person that can't have anything out of place, it's got to be perfect, you should probably stack your wood. If you got OCD, you should probably stack your wood. If you're the person that has to know exactly, right down to the stick, how much wood they have, stack it. Because if you stack it, you can measure it and you can quantify it. But I happen to know that in loose quantities, I know how to figure out how much I have. And there's one number I'm always looking for. It's very elusive, and I have never reached this number yet in my years, decades of cutting firewood. That number is more. I always need more. That's all that matters. If I have this much, that's not enough. I need more. So if you're going to stack wood, guys will do it in totes to save space. Obviously it saves space, but to me it takes way too much time. Bert and I put all of the cookies that we cut off into his totes like this and just save them like that, and he can burn them in his boiler. But stacking just takes too much time. These just get tossed in and it works fine. Now he's got a wood shed that he stacks stuff in, but that's kind of like overflow, and he can store stuff in there. It's an old like corn crib, and he's got a lot of room there. A buddy of ours here is Jerry. He's got his wood shed right by his house, which works good for him because it's right end user again. It's right by his where he's going to use it. My brother Ken, this is his wood yard, or one of the spots, and he has his wood stacked because he has it measured out for customers that are going to pick it up, and they know exactly where their wood is. Ken will mark it for them, and then they just come pick it up. So it works really good for him to do it that way, because that way he doesn't have to worry about delivering it. The people come and get it whenever they have time. And sometimes, it'll take them months to get it all because they're buying so much. They're buying multiple full cords at a time, and it works good for him to do it this way. And a lot of times he'll have people too that will just stop in and see that pink line on the right. That was the end of where the people who were supposed to take from another bunch that they took, and they marked it and took everything to the right of it. So it works good that way. And then he'll have another section and he'll just mark it, and someone will stop in and pick up a face cord, third of a cord, or 2 face cords, or a full cord, whatever they want, and it works good for him because he doesn't have to be there. They're happy because they get the wood they want when they want it, and he knows some of his customers so well, they'll just stop in and pick up wood and say, hey, I grabbed another third of a cord or another full cord, and they'll stop in and pay him, the day later or whatever. Another time to stack wood is if you got logs. On runners or stringers, it keeps it off the ground. It's easier to work with because there's so much volume there. You got to get it in an organized way like this. This is one complete semi-truck load here, probably 12 to 14 full cords. You can see here we got them on our wood yard, and we stack them in rows. We separate them by white oak or ash or hickory. Like this is all white oak over here, so we put it in a pile, and that way you know where it is and you got everything you want. My brother Ken worked in this wood yard for 30 years. They did like 30,000 cords a year, and they would separate the hardwoods and the softwoods. They'd separate the spruce and the tamarack and the balsam and the white pine. They would have it all separate because that way when people want it, they would know where to go. Now here's piles. On the left you see just a pile of hickory, and then on the right a pile of cherry, and that all got put into the bins just like you see here. This is my white oak right here in this bin. Oh, I'm sorry, red oak. There's all red oak in a big bin here. It dries fantastic. People ask me all the time, does it really dry? Yeah, it dries fantastic, and it's not stacked. I don't have any mold buildup. It works really well. This is a pile of wood here that is white oak, and then down the line farther there's ash, and I kind of separate it sometimes with a wall, but in general this stuff works really well to just put it into the crates, the pallets put together like this, and store it in the wind and sun. And people will ask me all the time, does it really dry? Yes, it really dries. There's pallets on the ground, pallets all the way around. Wind and air can hit it at all times, and I don't have any problem with any mold or moisture. It dries absolutely fantastic. I've had them be as narrow as 2 pallets wide and as wide as 8 to 9 pallets wide. Like this one here is a bin that I can put in. Oh, I want to say this bin right here, I can get like almost 40 full cords in it if I really heap it up with the elevator, and we really, really fill it up. So all ash in there, so it works fantastic. Here there's locust right there, and then next I think, I can't remember, that must be ash right there, and then an open spot, and then more ash. A lot of this will be sold soon. You can see how gray it is on top. When it turns gray, it's generally extremely dry. And then I got a separator right here, and then going from here down, it starts to be oak. This is all white oak through here. You can see the stuff that I first was at was gray, and the stuff in the back is a lighter color. Here's more oak here. This is a wood we just processed. This is all red oak, so lots of wood in the bins, and it dries fantastic. The rain does not hurt it at all. Rain dries off very fast. This is cherry right here. That's some new stuff I put in, and then on the right-hand side of this bin, there's more. Now, another thing I thought of that is a reason why you might want to stack your wood is if you don't like your neighbors and you want to build a barrier, a wall, or a fence, something like that, that might be a good idea. I know a guy that I sell to. He buys a couple full cords every year, and he stacks it across his backyard because it blocks out his neighbors. He said it works great. So that's his fence. And that's one reason I guess you could do it, is to have a barrier or to block something, or a windbreak maybe, or a snow fence. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of reasons why you would stack. So there's that. Now the people that I've mentioned that sell wood in huge volumes, you know, they sell thousands of cords of wood, and for them to touch the wood and stack it would be a waste of time. I have seen a couple people on YouTube that have firewood businesses that stack wood. They have other people do it, they have employees do it. So again, they're paying those people to do it, they're losing money there. There's one place I saw that was somewhere down south and one that was way out west, and they have a limited space. They have a smaller wood yard and they stack it basically because they need the space. So that is, again, a reason why you might stack it if you have a firewood business. But to me, it's a waste of time and effort and money. But I'm weird that way. One other reason to stack wood is if you have a firewood business like my brother has. My brother Ken has a firewood business and he sells in bulk. He sells to people that heat with wood. So they either have a stove or a wood boiler. And the people he sells to, what they do is they tell him a year ahead, hey, I want to buy 20 face cords or 7 full cords, whatever it is. And what he'll do is he'll build a pallet wall. He'll stack all that wood in a section, and then he'll mark it that that's Joe's wood. And he tells Joe, hey, your wood has got the big green X on it. There's 20 face cords there, or 7 full cords, whatever you want to call it. Come and get it. And then they pay him. He has other people that will call him and they'll say to him, hey, I need a full cord, or I need 3 face cords, because we deal in face cords here in Wisconsin primarily. And he'll tell them, okay, you go to the rack on the end, the stuff that's in the first row, that's 3 face cords or a full cord, take that whole first row, that's your wood. And they'll come and pick it up and they pay him. So he stacks his wood so he doesn't have to worry about it later. So for him it works. But for most people, touching the wood over and over and over is a waste of time. Now, if you don't have a storage facility where you have concrete to put it on like we have here, or if you don't have the bins like I've showed you in the video, where you can put the wood on pallets and in bins so it's off the ground, in the wind, in the open, where the sun and wind can hit it at all times and it can dry. Yeah, if you don't have that, maybe you're going to want to stack it. But remember, the more you stack it, the tighter it gets, the less airflow you're going to get on it, the less sun's going to hit it, the less it'll dry. In the open, loose, it will dry faster. Fact. So like I said, if you're the person that has a limited space in your garage, house, side of the house, whatever, and you have one of those racks that's 4 feet high, 8 feet long, holds a face cord, also known as a third of a cord, and that's all you've got, yeah, those people probably want to stack their wood. A lot of my customers pay me to stack wood in their garages or alongside the garage because they want it in the rack where it's nice and neat and everything. Again, end user, not a producer. Now, if you sell wood and you have a lot of wood and you have a large volume of it, number one, I believe, is get it off the ground. And if you want to stack it, go right ahead, waste some time, waste some energy, or get some exercise if that's what you enjoy doing. But if you get it on pallets or in some type of a stringer off the ground, it'll dry way faster if it's not sitting on the ground. If you can put it on concrete like this stuff here, it'll dry faster. This is faces south, this is in the sun all the time. This wood will go into my bin soon. This is hickory right over here to this side, and right over behind me over here, this is cherry. This all will be scooped up and put into my bins very soon. That is where it's going to end up, and that's where it's going to stay until I sell it. Now when I sell it, that's the only time really that I like to touch the wood. I don't really like to, but I have to throw it in. I have tried loading with a bucket and I've tried loading with a grapple. It doesn't work all that good. I find tossing it in to get the right amount that I want, and that's the next question that will come up that everybody asks. Well, if you have it loose, how do you know how much wood you have? Well, I can tell by looking about how much I have. More would be better. But when I sell it to my customers, I know how much my truck, I know how much each of my trailers holds as far as volume. I know how much to put in. And I'm going to show you right now how we do that and how much it holds. So this right here is my baby dumper, I like to call it. It is a 5x10 dump trailer from N&N. It's from Thumb Trailers. And this little guy right here, if I fill it with loose wood right to the top and heap it just slightly, holds 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. I know that because I've done it a lot of times. Now, if I want to deliver 1 face cord or 1/3 of a cord, I fill it right to the edge of the metal, just level across. And it's slightly more than a face cord or 1/3 of a cord, and that's what a lot of customers buy, and it makes it very easy. So I don't have to measure it, I just know it. And the reason I know that is I have had stacked rows, face cords, 1/3 of a cords, full cords, and I have put them into trailers, and I know how much wood it requires for volume in my truck, in my trailers, then I know how much I have. So it's easy. I don't have to think about it. And if I'm in question, I think, oh, maybe it needs to be a little more. You know what I do? I throw in more because people like more wood. My truck here is a Toyota Tundra. It's about 2.5 feet deep here. And if I fill this full with a slight crest, it's a 6.5 foot box by 5.5, whatever it is. A face cord, a third of a cord fits in here perfectly too. And my trailer, the big one here, the N&M dump trailer from Thumb Trailers. This one is a 6x12, and this one is, I think it's 40 inches high. If I fill this as full as I can get with a crest on the top, it holds 4 face cords or a full cord in 1/3. And if I stack it in here, which I don't do because I don't want to stack it, I can get 5 face cords if I stack it. Volume-wise, I know how much it requires because I have, like I've said, I've taken wood from piles like this, or from stacked piles, stacks, rows, cords that I've stacked, and I've put it into the trailer so I know how much it holds. But today I have an order for 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord, and I'm gonna pick it up from this pile because this stuff is all dry. I'm gonna toss it in and I'm gonna fill it up right about to the top of the metal again. If I go to the top of the metal, it ends up being 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. And I'm gonna put a little bit extra in just to make sure because people like extra free stuff. So we're gonna put some wood in right now. There it is, wood, never stacked. Cut, split, thrown in a pile, ready to be delivered. 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord, maybe just a little bit more. And you know what, if there's a little extra wood, you know who's gonna be happy? Number 1, my customer. More is always good. Number 2, me, because I didn't have to stack it. 1 touch, well, I touched it when I split it, and I touched it when I loaded it, so 2 touches. So there you go. It's ready to go down the road, and we're going to do a big dump tomorrow morning. That's all I got for today, folks. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back with another video for you. Right now, you should go watch all the other videos on my channel. There's 1,800 waiting for you right now. Good night, everyone.